In our last session we were discussing about classical report. So far we have done the declaration part. Okay, so we were designing the selection screen, but server got disconnected in the middle. Let's continue. So what we had written is this selection screen begin of block B1. That means you're grouping the selection screen elements inside the block so that you can handle some logic later if required. And with frame means if you need a box around this, so you're saying with frame, and also the title. Okay, title text, we also provided the text here saying database selection. So, and we are using select option reason because you see it's a multiple selection and then also range, right? So when we execute, you should be able to see report like this, right? Database selection and with frame, this is the frame, and also select option here. So let's go back and also add some more elements. Creation date, it's a multiple selection, range, and also mandatory field, and it should be defaulted to -10 year to current date. Okay, so let's create. Yes underscore maybe AEDAT for work area underscore purchase. AEDAT. Okay, so since it is also mandatory, they are saying it is a mandatory field, so you also have to use another addition saying obligatory. Okay, obligatory keyword makes the selection screen field mandatory. That means without entering the selection screen field you will not be able to do any other task. That means you cannot execute the program or you cannot continue. See, star is coming now. I go back, that is what mandatory. That's how you make field mandatory. Then purchase order, it's a multiple selection but not a range field. Okay, multiple selection is required but they don't need a range. That means the high and the high field that you see in the selection screen, that is not required here, just a multiple selection. Only user should be able to enter the multiple selection fields. Okay, so how do you provide that? Also s underscore EBELN for work area underscore purchase EBELN and no intervals. Okay, you are telling the system that please remove the high field. Okay, please don't place the high field value, low and high field, there are two fields, right, from and to. So please don't place the to field in the selection screen. Okay, by adding an additional keyword called no intervals. You see, now you will not see this field here even though it is a select option. You can click on the multiple selection and then okay, so it required some entry to be inserted, otherwise it will not allow. It's a mandatory, right? So now you see multiple selection field is also coming. So that is what that's how you say this. And company code, and it is a single, and there is a problem now. Sometimes what happens, user want to enter only one field, single field value. It is like I have to use parameter or select option. If it is a single input field, which one I have to use? Parameter, right? So but there is a problem with parameter. Okay, when you use parameter you have to pass the value. If you don't pass the value, it will consider the default value as data type value. That time the select statement might fail if they are not providing it. Okay, so because of that reason we should go with select option. But if you are using select option, how do you make select option to appear like parameter, right? So let's see. S underscore what was that field? Company code BUKRS. We'll use select option only, but we'll make it like parameter. So no intervals will remove the to field, and no hyphen extension will remove the button, multiple selection button. So this is how you make the parameter, select option to look like parameter. Okay, let me execute and show you. Now you see user will only be able to enter single value even though it is a select option by using an addition keyword, no field and no extension. Understood? See, multiple selection button is not coming because you have used addition keyword called no extension. Are we clear? Here plant, they need a single field, also multiple selection. Okay, so let's say let's go and use S underscore WRKS for work area underscore purchase hyphen WRKS. It is a single field and also multiple selection is required. Okay, and the last one maybe you can use the parameter. So here see, it is defaulted to INR, but user should not be able to edit. That means user won't be able to change the currency. Okay, it should be disabled. It should be there in non-editable mode. So how do you do that? We will see later, but for this let's use parameters. So P underscore WAERS type, it is EKPO WAERS is the date type, and it should be defaulted to INR. Pretty printer, check for an error and activate. It's taking time for activation. Oh, there is a error. Check for an error, no error, then activate. Anybody, any doubts so far? INR is coming, but the problem is still they will be able to change. We should make it disabled. Any doubts till now? No doubts?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So now if you see here, these fields are displaying, it is displaying the technical name, right? User won't understand what is this S underscore LIFNR, S underscore ADAT, right? They will not understand. We have to provide the description to it. So how do we provide the description? So you have to go to here utilities, or go to text element, and here selection text means selection screen text. Now what you can do is, like, you can copy, let's say this is a currency, or you can also tell the system that copy the description from data dictionary. You see, you can copy description for all. If you select this, if you unselect again, you will be able to modify them, right? So some of them should not come from the data dictionary. Maybe this one can, this one also, but it is displaying like a supplier, but customer wanted to see it like a vendor number. Okay, so you just have to change this to vendor number. And purchase order, they don't want to see purchasing document, they want to see the text as purchase purchase order, and company code is fine, that can come from the data dictionary instead of created on. They want to see data as create, created. Okay, you can modify some of them which can come from the data dictionary. You can just leave the check boxes. Okay, it will just copy the description from the data element. And let me activate and go back and let's execute. See, now the descriptions are coming, proper description. Right now user will be able to understand. Understood? This is how we design the selection screen. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now let's go back, and also there are something that we need to do. First thing is, they are asking us to initialize the selection screen field from -10 year to current date, right? Under which event we can do the selection screen field initialization? Under which event you can do the selection screen initialization? This is the first event which will trigger after load of program. This event is used to default the global variables, right? Basically it is used to default the selection screen fields. Understood? Initialization will be used to default the selection screen field. Okay, this event is used to default global variables, or also, sorry, it is not responding, and default the selection screen fields. Okay, let's use this event to default the selection screen. I just go back to the main program. This is the main program, and here I'll write initialization. Okay, save it and say perform default underscore create underscore date, or else let's say default selection screen, something like this. I'll just create a subroutine and I'll double click on the subroutine. It will ask me where it should be placed. Okay, I'll just put it in PBO model because the default should happen before displaying the selection screen. Okay, I want this to be executed before displaying the selection screen. I'll keep it in the PBO, right? It is not like since you keep it in this include, it will execute. That is because of the initialization, if you remember. System taking time, it's not responding. Okay, so say yes. Yes, now it will show you an pop-up in under which include you want to create this. I'll say please create this in the O01. Execute. Now you see. Okay, so now how do I get current date? Which system variable I have to use to get current date? Very good. We have to use S5 datum, right? So that will give the current date. But how do I calculate -10 year? How do I calculate -10 year? Let's see, is there any reusable code that SAP provide? Okay, let's see if SAP provides any reusable code. Let me right click on the Chrome and open a new tab here. Function module to calculate date, or else function model to get -10 years, something like this. I'll just Google And now let's see, required function model to get 1 year in the past. Okay, let's see, is there any function model that they are saying here? This is what you also will be doing. That's why I'm googling, otherwise I know it is RP calculate date function model. I just want to show you what you will do when you are not aware about which function model to be used. Okay, see here they are saying that RP calculate date in interval. Okay, so they are using this function model. Here they are only passing 1 year minus and also the current date. So let's see, we will also use this function model and see whether it will work as per our requirement or not. So let's take the function model and go to /o SE37 and provide the function model. Right, this is where SAP or we create the function models. Let's click on execute button because function model is also an executable code. So today's is 11/11/2022 is the date, and I don't want to minus days or months. I don't want to add, I want to subtract actually how many years, minus 10 years, right? So let's execute this. Now you see it is giving the minus 10 year date, right? 11/11/2012 is the minus of current date. Understood? This function model is working for me. So SAP created some reusable code. Okay, we should not reinvent the wheel again. There are so many reusable codes that is provided by SAP already. We should find those and use them. Okay, if it is not there, then you can create your own reusable code. Okay, you can also create your own function model if it is not there, and that can be used by many other people also. You see, they have written some code to do the calculation. So let's go back. That it is not only for minusing years, it is also for other users, minusing days and all. Okay, so let's call the function model, call function control V, control space, shift enter. Now here I'm going to pass the current date as by datum is the current date. I don't want to minus any days, I don't want to minus months, I don't want to add it, actually I want to subtract how many years, 10 years, and I'll be receiving the result here. Okay, I'm going to store the date inside a variable. So if you see, whenever you declare select option, what happens when you declare select option? What it is going to do? It creates an work area and also internal table, right guys? That's what select option do, right? Select option defines in range internal table with header line, that means work area, right? So let's do one thing. I'm not going to declare a new variable here, so rather I'll just use it s underscore aedat hyphen low. I'll just use it here, and let's also fill the low field and high field. Yes, sorry, low is already filled, s underscore aedat. Why it is not coming? Let's activate the main program, it should work. Right click here, aedat hyphen sign will be the field. I'll say that include the date. Okay, s underscore aedat option equal to between 2 days, so bt between 2 days, and s underscore aedat hyphen high, that will be the current date. Okay, since the internal table and work area name is same, you just have to use append. Okay, it will append this to the range internal table. So that's how you will default the select option. This is how you default the select option field. Save and go back to the main program. So let's debug and understand what is happening here. I'll just right click and activate the program, and then we will debug. So let's keep the breakpoint here and then execute. You see initialization triggers before displaying the selection screen, right? So that's why I'm using this event to default the selection screen fields. Now I press F5 because I want to go inside and debug the program. So I don't want to see what is happening in a standard program. I only want to get the output from this. I don't want to debug this function model. So which button I have to press if I don't want to go inside? How do I? F7 is to come outside of the procedure block, right? That means if you press F7, it will go outside of this. I want to be inside, but I don't want to go inside this function model. Okay, you see SY datum is providing the current date. S underscore ADAT low is initial right now. F6, right? I press F6. I will not go inside, but you see it is providing the minus 10 year date. Okay, and I'm also filling the sign option and high. Okay, because it's a select option. If you see this select option, it has header line, that means work area. You see it has work area, so that work area data will be appended to the internal table. This is an internal table which has column, sign, option, low and high, right? If you remember selection screen field, selection screen class, I'm going to append. I'm just saying append work area to internal table. I'm not keeping it because it has both. The name is same here. Okay, it is like header line. You see there is an topi icon you can see here, right? Cap icon, that means header line, right? It has same. So I'm just going to append it to the internal table. You see now the data is being stored in internal table. I just execute. You will be able to see the date that is defaulted, 11/11/2012 to 11/11/2022. That is what expected in the requirement. Anybody any doubts till now? Minus 10 year.
As a part of function module, like whatever you declared, right? That can you please repeat?
As a part of function module, like whatever you declared, right? That can you please
Which
repeat?
declaration you are asking for? I have not done any declaration here actually. I just used the existing one.
Sign, yeah.
So this is not a declaration actually. So whenever you say select option,
Sign, yeah.
system creates an internal table and also work area with the columns, sign, option, low and high. This is the structure that is of select option. Understood? That is not for function model. That is of the select option field. Not understood?
No, it is not clear.
Okay, no problem.
No, it is not clear.
Whenever you say select option, this syntax. When you say select option, S underscore listener. Okay, let's take any field, right? When you write this syntax in the program, when you say this, okay, what system is going to do? System is going to create two things behind the scene. Maybe it will generate the selection screen first. This is the selection screen, right? And it will place, if you remember, it will also place two input field. Okay, so one is description of the select option here, sorry. this is the description or technical name of the select option. It will also place the low field, and this will also place another high field, and also one more extension button here. This is what happens when you say select option, right? Do you remember? Is this clear to you till now? This is also placed an extension button, right? So these two are the input fields where user can input the value, and this is an extension button, so where user can click on that button and see multiple selection ranges and all, right? This is a button. This is what happens when you say select option in the screen, in the selection screen, correct?
Yes.
So in the program, what happens in the program when you say select option?
Yes.
That is in the screen. So in a program, it will create an internal table and also an work area. So you know what is internal table?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Oh my god, my system is
Yeah,
hanging
Rajesh.
today, not sure why. See, it is saying that system taking heavy load, not sure. I'm not using that many application anyways. Sorry. What happens in the program, right? This is a program. So what it is going to do, it will create two object, okay? One is work area and other one is internal table with 4 columns. This is the work area. Okay, so this is the work area it is going to create, and it will also create an internal table with same 4 columns. Like this. Okay, so this work area or internal table will have an columns. By default they will have a column sign, option, low, high. They will have these columns. Understood?
Yeah, it is clear.
So now sign will store value like
Yeah, it is clear.
include or exclude. Option will store values like equal to, what it is. Your passing value, if you pass single value then it will be equal to, if you pass range value then it will be between, right? Or if you pass something, if you select less than, or it will be LE less than equal to, or like less than equal to, greater than equal to, or all the relation operator will be stored in option to indicate what kind of value you are passing here. Understood? Whatever the value that you keep it here, that value will be stored in the low field. Whatever the value that you keep here, that value will be stored in the high field. This is how select option works behind the scene. Clear?
Yeah, thank you. It's clear.
Yeah, thank you. It's clear.
Anybody has doubts on this? Hello? Are we clear? Any of you have doubt on select option?
Yeah, we are clear. So Rajni, Rajni, so basically first the data will be
Yeah, we
stored
are
into
clear,
an
Rajni.
internal
So
table
Rajni,
from
so
internal table
basically
work
first
area,
the data will
then
be
from
stored
work area to
internal
output you
table,
will give
then
like
from internal table to work
as
area,
you
then it will
discussed
go,
earlier.
then from work
This
area
one
to
selection now
output
it is
you will
quite
give, right?
different. First it is
As we discussed earlier. But
taking to the work area,
this one
then it is
selection now it
stored
is
again.
quite
It is
different.
sending to
First it is
internal table.
taking to the work area, then it is stored again. It is
See,
sending to
the problem is
I
you
mean
cannot
internal
directly
table. You
store
mean
data
to
in
say?
internal table. At least with the old syntax. With the new syntax, you of course you can do it, but anyways we are
Okay.
not talking on new syntax or a BAP on a course here, right? So let's consider old syntax. Okay, you cannot directly operate on internal table, right? If you want to do modification or if you want to display the data of internal table, you need an work area. Do you agree? From work area you're going to store that data into internal table, right? If you have seen, we have
Yes.
done internal table operation in our previous classes. So
Okay.
whatever we were doing, we were bringing the data to the work area every time. Do you
Every time
remember?
Yes.
first you will okay.
Yes. The same
Then
thing
we will
here. So
then
what
we
I
will
am doing
pass
here
from the
Every
now,
work
time.
area to
First you will.
internal
Okay.
table.
correct. So what I am doing here,
Then
first
we
I am
will
filling the work
then we
area.
will pass from the work area to
Since I
internal
cannot
table.
directly fill the internal table, first I'll fill the work area and then I'll append it to internal table.
Yes.
Understood?
Yeah. From internal table it will go to the output, right?
Yes, yes. If you just fill
Yeah.
work area,
From
it will not
internal table it will go to the output, right?
go to output. You
Okay.
have to fill the internal table.
Internal table, yes.
Understood? That's why I'm appending it.
Yeah, understood.
Internal table, yes.
So this is applicable for entire
Yeah,
whole
understood.
code, right?
All select options. Wherever you
Once
define
So
we
select option,
this
this
is
is applicable.
applicable for entire all code, right?
Yes,
Even
Venkatesh.
also, right?
Rajnish, like because it is automatically
Yeah,
defined by
Venkat, sorry.
once we are using the select options code
Rajnish, like
in the
because it
back
is
end work
automatically
area and
defined by
internal table not
once we are
automatically
using the
defined. That
select
is why we are
options
not again
code
once again
in the
defining
back
them,
end
right?
work area
Yes.
and
So
internal
whenever
table
you
are
define,
automatically
use
defined. That is
parameter
why we are
defines a
not again
variable,
once
just a
again
variable,
defining them,
right?
right?
The
Declaring them.
same way, when you say select option, it defines internal table and work area. We don't have to
Okay.
define.
Okay, so that is why you are directly using them
Correct.
as a part of.
Yes, that's why.
Okay. So that is why you are directly using them
Okay, so let's go back.
as a part of code.
And now you clear why I'm
Thank you. Yeah.
first filling it to the work area and then, oh my god, what is this? I think it should work today. I've sent mail that day and asked them why it is failing again and again. It should work. Okay, so now you can see, right? So now you understood why I'm doing this. First I'm filling it to work area. This is how you fill the work area data, right? For each value you will assign the data. Then you will append it to internal table. Is this clear to everyone now? Are we clear, guys? All of you, only Venkatesh and Srinivas saying. What about others? Are we understood?
Yes.
Hitesh?
Says created the default work area or we explicit create a work area.
Says created the
By
default
default,
work
whatever the
area
name that you
or
provide
we
here, right, in
explicit
the select
create
option.
work area.
With the same name, it will create internal table and work area. Okay? Hello, guys, understood? Shall we move on?
Okay.
Because you append in only the internal table, not work area. That's why I asked. In the default
Because you
system,
append in only
So
the
we
internal
append
table,
the
not
data
work area.
from,
That's why I asked. In
it
the
is like with the
default
same
selection,
name,
yeah.
it is created internal table and work area, right? That's why I'm just saying append. I'm not saying append this to an internal table again.
Yes.
I'm not saying this. You see, both are same. Do you see any
To work,
difference name?
yeah.
It is not like a work area ADAT to internal
Okay.
table ADAT, right? Both are having same name, so you don't have to use two things. You can just
Yeah.
use append ADAT. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on, and then now the
Yes.
next thing is they're also saying to disable the selection screen field. They're saying that please make this currency field as no input. Okay, that means user should not be able to edit. Under which event we can write the logic? Any any disabling or hiding selection screen fields. Which event we should use? You see, at selection screen on output, right? So this event will trigger before displaying the selection screen. This event is mainly used for dynamic selection screen. That means for hiding fields or disabling input fields, whatever dynamic changes that needs to be done for the selection screen, you can use at selection screen output, right? That is the second event that will be triggered after initialization. So let's say, sorry, at selection screen, and let's say perform disable underscore input. Okay, I'll just make this field as more reusable using the field name p underscore wars. Okay, just want to make more reusable. If you remember, pass by value, pass by reference, which category it falls into? Is it pass by value or pass by reference? I'll tell the system that before it executes before displaying, so let's create under PBO. So we are modularizing the code, right? Who will tell me, is it pass by value or pass by reference?
So it can be reference also. It can store INR directly.
Do you remember the syntax of pass by value?
So it can be reference also. It can store INR directly.
It's a pass by value.
Yeah, because we are using value statement. If you remove value here, it will become reference.
It's a pass by value.
Okay, so now what I will do, I'll loop the screen fields. I'll loop each and every screen fields from the selection screen. Okay, I'll loop each and every screen field of the selection screen. If the screen hyphen field is equal to the field that is been passed, in that case what you do, please screen hyphen input equal to 0. 0 means disable. If you put 1 means that is enable. Let's disable it. Okay, and let's say modify screen. Okay, so this is how you disable the selection screen fields. Okay, so I'll debug and show you what is happening here. So let's go back and activate the program, and we will debug. Activate. This is the structure that is already exist in the data dictionary. It will also be declared automatically when the selection screen is generated. So it is not field, actually it is the name. Okay, name of the field. Okay, so here you will be able to see it will loop and read the name of the fields. If you have grouped them, you can also see the groups here. And if you want to make the field required, that means mandatory kind of thing, you can do that here. Input, that means if you want to enable or disable the input, if you want to display or hide the field, invisible. If you want to make the data which is inside a field invisible, then you can use this. This is like colors, some kind of color. If you want to do length, you can also provide the length and some more options here. Okay, so let's go back and activate nav, and let's debug. Why I've written this reusable code, I'll tell you in the next classical interactive report, because I'm going to reuse the same code. That's what the purpose of modularization, right? Oh my god, it should have been executed. See here guys, I have kept it in a wrong event, right? At selection screen will trigger when? Who will tell me when at selection screen event will trigger? Anybody, when at selection screen event will trigger? It will trigger when after displaying the selection screen, right? So but at selection screen output, if you use wrong event, it will not work properly, right? You see, it was not disabling the selection screen fields. So to disable it, you have to use at selection screen output. Okay, so now you see this will be triggered before displaying the selection screen and also disable the input field. So I'll show you now what is happening here. So you see, disable input field I'm calling, so I'm passing the field name as p underscore wars, right? So it is going to loop. I'll just go back to the desktop 3, maybe delete and also save the lived. Okay, so now maybe I'll just replace this with a structure tab, and now you see. Okay, so this is the selection screen name. Okay, I'm going to loop. If the field is this, that means p underscore wars, then only you disable it. You see, I'm reading, this is a user command, this is a block, right? So again you see I'm reading another element, that is listener text. This is the text of LIFNR, and again you see I'm going to read the listener, the some space it is reading actually, and now you see it is going to read the low field of the LIFNR. Okay, next it is going to read the text, that is two text. You see two text between two fields, that is reading two text. Now it is going to read the high field. Okay, then it is going to read the value push, that means multiple selection field. Like that I'm going to read each and every fields whenever this is going to match my field, that is p underscore wars. The input is 1, that means it is enabled. I'm going to disable it by making it as 0. See, I'm making it as 0, and I'm applying the changes to the selection screen by saying modify screen, apply the changes to the selection screen. Now I'm just pressing F8. Now you see it is disabled. Are we clear? Anybody, any doubts so far? Hello? Understood or not? Okay, so now the next thing is, after once we're done with the selection screen, so you also see that in the requirement they're saying that please validate input fields. Okay, so which input fields? If you just scroll down below, they're saying if user enters a wrong entries in the selection screen, then display below message for vendor number, purchase order, and also to the company code. These three fields to be validated. Entered ampersand means they are also asking us to put the value, right? Whatever the user has entered, that value should also be displayed in the message, and after that vendor number, like that, right? So for this, if you want to display the message like this, in that case you have to use the message class, right? If you remember, we also have created our own message class in our previous session. Okay, so this is why I don't want it to switch the systems, because some of the things we already created, we have to redo the things again, right? It won't be good. So let's go here and provide, this is the message class that we have created, and then here we will be using all these messages. Okay, let's go back and copy all of it. I'll just go and keep it in a notepad file first of all, otherwise this is also going to give me the dot, that first one, the character. I don't need this, so we'll just remove. I'll copy this and I'll keep this one here. Okay, first one is entered ampersand vendor, and then purchase order, then the company code. Okay, I'll just keep all of them, save. Okay, so I'll just save them, and then we will use this message class. Okay, this is a message class I created. I copy the message class. So what I will do, I'll just go to the top include here. Okay, inside top include there's a report keyword. I'll just use the message ID so that I don't have to use the message class again and again. Message ID here, if I keep it is global, I can use this whatever the messages. If you don't provide message class, that means it is going to take this from messages from this message class. Okay, so I'll just keep that message class and activate the program. So under which event we will be doing validation of the selection screen field? We will be doing the validation of selection screens, all the selection screens fields on the HUD selection screen. Okay, so this is where we write validation logic. So let's say HUD selection screen, under this let's say perform validation. So this is like PAI, it will trigger after displaying the selection screen once user made the entries. I'll activate this and also create, it is saying it is not exist, so yes, it is not there. Let's create this under the I01 PAI, process after input. So this is how you keep your code modularized so that it is more readable, right? So first thing is that they're asking us to do the validation, right? So validation should be done on the check table every time. Okay, so how do I know the check table of the table? So if you see here, we are actually getting the vendor number from EKKO LIFNR. Okay, so let's say EKKO, and if I go in a display mode and look for the field LIFNR, that is the vendor number, so you will find that here. If you go to input or help check, you will be able to find the check table. I hope you people also remember the data dictionary class, what is check table and what is foreign key relationship, how the foreign key relationship is been created. So basically there is a foreign key relationship between EKKO and also LFA1. In LFA1 is the check table. So whenever you do any validation, you will be doing that on the selection, based on the check table, right? So select, I just want to check whether the value exists or not, so I say select single. Okay, LIFNR, and from LFA1 table, this is a check table, so into work area underscore purchase hyphen LIFNR. I'll just store that here in this, that should be fine. I don't want to declare a new variable here, otherwise you can also declare a local variable here itself, LV underscore LIFNR, type LIFNR like this. Okay, then that local variable can be used. Okay, so whatever you declare here inside a subroutine, that is a local variable. Okay, so whatever you declare in the top include, okay, this is like main program. So these are the global variables, global tables of global variables. Venkatesh, you had these doubts, right? So this is how you declare the local variable. Okay, it will not be available, I'll show you. So let's say LIFNR in S underscore LIFNR. Okay, if the select statement is failed, how do you know? If sy sub bar c not equal to 0, that means select statement failed. Okay, then throw a message saying that message error message I want 001, I guess, in the message class. Let's see that in the message class is it 001. Let's go back to SC91. Yeah, it is 001. So let's go back to the program now. E001, so it should be a type not required because you are already mentioning here that is E means error. So with S underscore LFNR hyphen low. Okay, so this is to validate the listener field. And let's also validate some more fields, that is purchase order number, purchase order check table. Let's go back and see. If you go here and see here, the check table is empty, that means the purchase order check table itself is EKKO. So let's go and write select statement on that. Select single EBELN from that is the purchase order number EKKO into, so let's declare one more local variable here, LV underscore, LV means local variable, EBELN type EBELN, and one more local variable LV underscore BUKRS type BUKRS. Okay, so those are the local variables. So let's use that LV underscore EBELN where EBELN in S underscore EBELN, right? So whenever it is a select option, you will be using in operator to pass the value to the select option. This is how you pass the select option values to the select statement. Okay, if sy sub bar c not equal to 0, that means if the select statement is failed, then we know that there is no purchase order number. That means the purchase order number that is being passed from the selection screen is wrong. So let's throw that error message here. Then the last one, select BUKRS, select single BUKRS from the check table. So let's see whether we have BUK. Yeah, it is there here only, BUKRS. If you see the check table of if you see the check table of BUKRS, it is T001. So let's write why we write select statement or validation on check table, because check table will always have the valid entries, right? BUKRS where BUKRS in S underscore BUKRS. So if the select statement is failed, size of bars is not equal to 0, and if that means this E00003 with S underscore BUKRS hyphen low. I'm just trying to pass one field that has been passed, so this should end here. This is how you do the validation of the selection screen. Check the value exists or not in the database. If it is not there, then throw an error message. Okay, so let's also maintain proper description to the code. Validate vendor number, and then here validate the purchase order number. And company code. What is error message? How it works? Let's go back and activate. If people are lacking in concept, please go back and revise. It's really important. So let's keep breakpoint here. This will not be triggered when you display the selection screen. It will be triggered when you enter some value or when you do some action in the selection screen. I'll just enter the wrong values and let's see whether it works or not. I'll execute. Press F5. Now you see I'm passing the wrong vendor number. The select statement is failed. How I know? Because size of bus is 4. Even LV listener is not having value. If it is failed, then you see it's going to throw a message to the user. Enter, this is the number that you entered, that is the vendor number is invalid, right? So until unless you make the right entry to the field, it will throw that error message to you. You see now I made a right entry. Now that may pass, you see now the purchase order number is invalid, right? So let's select some right purchase order number, and then I click enter. Now you see entered 125, that is company code is invalid, right? Let's select the right company code. No error messages. Now you see all turned to the black, right? Because we entered the right value. So this is how you write validation logic to the selection screen fields. Anybody, any doubts so far?
So Rajnish, why we have used this where class here? What you are checking here?
Whatever the selection screen values that is been passed to the select statement,
Okay.
from the selection screen I'm passing to the table LFA1.
Okay. That how the program is understanding what is the dependency here?
Means
I mean this we have given the s underscore listener rate where it is checking. It is checking with the only table from LFA1 only
yeah, it is checking with LFA1 table.
defaultly. Okay. There is no interlink with the program code, right? Directly it is checking the LFA1 only.
How do you say that LFNR should be checked with LFA1? How do you pass the values to the select statement? Do you remember select statement class?
Yeah.
What is the use of where class from class into? What we were doing in the where class? What we were doing
Where
in the
class?
where class?
Yeah, we are just putting a condition.
Not condition. We were passing the value, if you remember. Do you remember what we were passing in the where class? We passed some hard-coded value where MAT and R in between, right?
Yes.
So now what we are doing, we are not hard coding it, rather we are taking the value from the selection screen. That means we are taking input value from the selection screen from the user. Whatever the input that is done by the user, we are passing it to the where class using select
Okay.
option.
Okay. So this is S we are defining the S underscore that is the fixed right when you are checking with
If you
the
remember,
selection screen.
we just now defined the selection screen fields,
Okay, got it. Yeah, yeah.
right?
Yes, yes.
Understood? Any doubts?
Understood. Understood. Thank you.
In select options, like user can give from to two values, right?
Correct. So let's
But
debug.
here you have not written the loop statement.
That is not required. System takes care. That's why I'm using in operator here.
Even if there are, suppose say LIFN are 100 values.
Yes, yes, of course it.
For all
System
100 it
takes
will do
care.
that.
We don't have to loop it. That's the beauty of select option. See, we don't have to check each and every value in anyways. Do you want to check each and every value? At least if what are the values that is been passed by user, if one entry is exist, at least system will bring, right?
Okay.
You don't have to check for each and every value. See, if you want to exclude, all this will be taken care by system in operator. Okay, so just to showcase how this will be converted, let me show you first in an internal table. You see s underscore listener is having 3 rows, right? between these two are equal to, right?
Okay.
Saying in operator here. So behind the scene what happens? /o st05 activate trace with filter, client is 800, user ID my user ID, and the program name zmmrpo star b20 oh wait, star not working, zmmrpo b20, correct. And the table that I want to check is, sorry, the table that I want to check is LFA1, how the select statement is converted, right? So let's execute this. If you see here in LAFNR, this is how the values are stored, like an internal table, like this, right? This is how the values have been stored. I'll just execute this and let's see AST05. That is the trace that you can check how the select statements are converted by DBI to send it to the database. I'll just deactivate the trace display, execute. Now this is the select statement that has been converted to the native SQL, and now you see what is happening here. Understood?
Yeah.
Okay, any other doubts?
While defaulting that value of currency to INR, you have used like pass by value.
No, not for defaulting, I just defaulted it here. I'm using pass by value at the time I'm disabling it. To disable that input field, right?
Okay. Like what if we use like pass by
You can
reference,
use
pass by
no
reference
problem,
and
that's fine.
No issues.
no
No
issues.
issues.
Okay, thank you.
So any other doubts? Okay, that's all guys for today. Then I'll upload the FS also to the drive, and also other videos which are missed today after the class, and you also start practicing it. Okay, so if